Welcome to this demonstration on painting stormy clouds over the sea in soft pastels. I am using UArt sanded paper 500 grade for this demonstration. I've selected a few shades of blues, orange, and some yellows to render these clouds and sun reflections that are shining through the clouds. I've started by drawing my horizon line between the sky and the seascape, and I'm adding some shades of blues, orange, and yellows for my underpainting background. I have dipped my brush into some isopropyl alcohol and I am blending and smoothing out the pigment in my colors to create a base layer of this underpainting. You can use water for this process, but I like using the rubbing alcohol because it dries so quickly. These colors are a little bit washed out, so I'm adding some more sky blue and a darker shade of blue for the underpainting area of the clouds. I'm just going to blend a little bit with a sponge applicator, and then I'm going to add a little more of this uh, deep yellow orange to the lower area of the sky. And I'll use a little bit of my alcohol to blend it into the paper. So now the alcohol has dried, so I can begin using my soft pastels to begin developing the stormy clouds. I don't know why I'm using such a small sponge applicator, but I'll pull out a different one in a few minutes here. I'm switching to a very dark blue to develop the base of our storm cloud. This is from my Great American Pastel set, and I really like these pastels because they lay down a very rich layer of color that really blends well. So I've switched to another sponge applicator that you can purchase on Amazon or any store that sells pan pastel supplies and an assortment of sponge applicators. I will leave some links in the description area below of some of the supplies I'm using for this demonstration. The dark blue works very well for shaping my cloud formation, but I'm going to switch to some gray pastel to give it a little bit more of a realistic storm cloud appearance. I'm going to blend the gray into our cloud formation and continue to add some more layers of color and try to shape the clouds into a texture that is realistic. As I blend this area, you can begin to see the layers of the cloud formations developing. I'm going to add some of the dark blue cloud formation beginning on the left side of the painting, and it'll gradually extend into the larger cloud formation. I'm going to switch to a lighter shade of blue to develop the clouds within the lighter shades where the golden sun is shining through. I'll blend this light shade of blue in the background, and then I'll come back with more of the goldenrod color of soft pastel to develop the texture of the golden color clouds. Here we want the sunlight to penetrate the clouds on the left side of the painting. The rain cloud on the right side of our artwork is very dense at the bottom of the cloud. So this area is a much darker value because of the precipitation occurring, the rain falling from the cloud. The cloud has a very puffy top and texture to it, and to the left of the cloud where it's raining, the sun is shining through the cloud and forming a beautiful formation of golden light through the clouds. I've added some light gray and white clouds just above the golden light to indicate that some of the sunlight is still reflecting off of these clouds. I'm slowly trying to add more shape to our cloud formation without over blending. I'm going to add some very heavy dark color here at the base of our cloud to indicate some rain falling from the large cloud. Here I am trying to add a little more yellow texture to the cloud so that the transition between the light yellow and the dark blue appears more natural. I'm adding some more dark blue to our cloud, and I'm using my sponge applicator to blend and create more of the cloud texture. I'm adding a few highlights of white where the light is very bright, shining through the clouds. I'll blend a little more blue into our rain cloud, and then I'll blend it and try and transition some of this darker shade into the base of the yellow cloud next to the dark blue storm cloud. So this nearly completes my stormy clouds and sky, and now we'll move on to the horizon and seascape area. I want to reestablish my horizon line using my ruler. I am measuring both sides to ensure I have a straight line for the horizon. And next, I want to add some guidelines for some of the waves splashing onto the shore. The water is usually the darkest at the horizon line, so I'm using my very dark blue pastel for this, and I will add a lighter shade in front of the horizon, and I'll use some isopropyl alcohol. I'm using a 90% alcohol to blend and smooth the pastel pigment into the paper. I'm going to switch to a violet color for the foreground beach area where the water washes along the sand. Next, I'll switch to my ultramarine blue for the wave color in the center of the water. Now I'll use my rubbing alcohol to blend these areas together to create our base layer for the sea water. The alcohol dries very quickly, so I'm adding some dry pastel over my base layer to create some wave texture on the ocean. I'm using my sponge applicator to blend some of this color over the base, and you can already begin to see some of the ocean texture developing. I'm using a very small piece of light blue pastel to begin creating some light waves in the background. I've added some white over the light blue, and I'm using my very dark blue pastel to create some dark shadows beneath these small curling waves. I'll continue adding more of the white caps to our waves, and I'm using the sharp edge of a very small square pastel stick to do this. Next, I want to add some of the goldenrod color to our water to introduce some of the reflections occurring from our bright yellow clouds. I've added some light blue to the crest of our wave. The light shines through the cresting wave because the wave is thinner at the top and the light shines through it. So it's important to blend some of that lighter color along the top of a wave. I'm going to add some white pastel over our light blue overturning wave, and then use my blending sponge applicator to bring some of this color down into the crashing wave. These applicators are very helpful when working in small areas like this. So now we have some good wave action and very good light reflections on the water. I want to build up the thickness of the foam along the edge of the water and indicate some trails of water that is flowing up onto the beach. I want to add a little bit of yellow to our beach to indicate the reflections from the sunny clouds. Next, I'll use the sharp edge of my white pastel to create some of the currents of water and movement in between the waves. I'm switching to a light brown pastel to add a little more color to the edge of the water line. I'm also blending a little bit of light blue into the sand to give it a wet sand appearance. I'm going to add a little more foamy white surf to the edge here and reshape this area a little bit. I'll add a little bit more foam washing up onto the shoreline, and this painting is nearly complete. I'm adding a little bit of gray to the cloud area and try to blend it a little smoother to give it a better soft texture. I'm going to add a small line of clouds along the horizon line. This will indicate some distant misty clouds. So this completes my demonstration on painting stormy clouds over the sea. I hope you have enjoyed this demonstration and will join me for future videos and lessons. If you liked this video, please press like and be sure to leave me a comment below. If you haven't already, please subscribe so that you won't miss any future lessons and demonstrations. Thank you for joining and see you next time.